The Super Bowl is the most anticipated television event of the year, from the hilarious commercials to everyone gathering around one TV in the house to watch their favorite NFL team play in the biggest game of the year. However, some people couldn't care less about the football aspect of the Super Bowl. Every year, the NFL hosts the biggest concert in the world, the Super Bowl halftime show. With hundreds of millions of viewers and huge past performances by people such as Paul McCartney, Beyoncé, Bruno Mars, and Michael Jackson, the performer has to be one of the biggest stars in the business. This year's halftime show performer was announced on the Jimmy Fallon Show back in October to be Justin Timberlake, one of, if not the most successful solo artists of the 21st century, who would be performing at the 52nd Super Bowl in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Excuse me, sir, do you have the time?
I was going to ask you, sir, if you have the time.
I do have the time.
You do have time?
I do have time.
You do have time?
I do have time.
You do have time?
I do have time.
You're doing the halftime show at the Super Bowl? You do have time!
From his noodle hair days of NSYNC to the most overplayed song of 2016, Can't Stop the Feeling, Justin Timberlake has been around for decades since his 2002 breakup from the boy band. Some people were crazy about the NFL's choice of Justin Timberlake, while others believe that there were more relevant and less washed-up choices than JT.
I was absolutely excited. He's my favorite recording artist of all time. I thought that he's got such a catalog of great hits that for a halftime show that's 15, 20 minutes long, he's one of the few artists I feel like can go for 20 minutes with all new songs, or not necessarily new songs, but all different songs from different time periods, from 1990s when he was in NSYNC to the early 2000s with his first couple albums to his newest album that was just released.
Yeah, I was very excited when they announced him as performer. Thought it'd be very interesting to see what would happen. I didn't think there was any better choices because he's very good, talented, and I wanted to see what he'd bring with his new album.
When I found out that Justin Timberlake was a performer, I wasn't that excited. I thought there could have been a better option. He's not really new on the music scene anymore. Kind of washed up, so.
This isn't Justin Timberlake's first time at the Super Bowl. As a matter of fact, it isn't even his second. Super Bowl 52 is actually his third time performing at the halftime show, more than any artist before. It has been 14 years since Timberlake's last performance with Janet Jackson in 2004, where he faced some massive criticism for the infamous stunt he pulled during the show, where he accidentally pulled off a part of Jackson's costume on live TV during a performance of Rock Your Body, exposing her in front of 144 million people. This was the cause for the 6-second delay during NFL games and made the NFL pay a $500,000 fine to the FCC. Of course, this show has never been forgotten by anyone who watched it live, and was actually a cause for protests of this year's Super Bowl, since Timberlake took nearly none of the blame for exposing Jackson on live TV, basically ending her career.
I remember the first time he performed at the Super Bowl and that whole incident happened, and to be honest with you, it was such a small split second. I didn't even really see anything. And I always thought back then that people made a big deal out about it. And now 15 or 17 years later, however many years later it's been, I really didn't expect any backlash. I personally completely forgot about it, and even as a person, I feel like maybe that's something that he learned from and grew from, and now he's a dad, he's married, something like that might not be something he would do on national television, planned anyway, so I didn't think it would be a big deal.
I did expect backlash because it was kind of a big deal back then, and it still is kind of now, and he didn't take too much of the blame when he really should have.
I expected there to be backlash. It was expected, but since it was 14 years ago, it really people should get over it.
On February 4th, the world gathered around to see what Justin had in store for the biggest show of the year. Jimmy Fallon opened up the show after climbing on top of a Coca-Cola tower to announce the beginning of his best friend's show. Justin began the show with Filthy, the opening song to his highly anticipated new album, Man of the Woods, which dropped 2 days before the Super Bowl. However, as soon as the show opened, people noticed there was something wrong. They couldn't hear him. It turns out there was audio problems throughout the entire Super Bowl halftime show, which made people confused, wondering why it looked like Justin was just dancing without singing.
I definitely could notice the audio problems right away when he first came on. As it went through the performance, it really didn't affect me that much. I was honestly dancing around in my living room with my little kids, but it definitely, I feel affected the performance in a negative way.
I thought that it was somewhat of a big deal because the NFL is a huge company. You would think that they would know what they're doing, and they kind of didn't have it ready, and they should have had it prepared more.
They were kind of obvious. I couldn't hear him the whole time. It kind of just seemed like he was dancing throughout the entire show.
Timberlake continued the show with a medley of his past hits, including Sexy Back, Cry Me a River, and surprisingly, Rock Your Body, the song he was performing when he accidentally ripped off Janet Jackson's costume on live TV, although he cut out the lyric he was singing during the exact moment he ripped off her outfit. After an exciting performance of Suit and Tie on center field with the University of Tennessee Marching Band, Timberlake strolled to his piano, where he lit up the stadium with Until the End of Time and a rendition of I Would Die For You to honor Minnesota's own Prince, Timberlake's favorite artist who died in early 2016. Although this was a great tribute to honor one of the best artists of all time, Timberlake, of course, is facing even more backlash for performing with a silhouette of Prince during his halftime show. Supposedly, Prince had been quoted a while back saying that performing with a hologram of a dead artist is demonic, and singers should let dead artists' legacy live on by never using them in virtual reality.
I felt the Prince tribute was like really cool with the purple lighting of the outside of the stadium and everything like that. As far as the song, I felt like he could have chosen a more popular or a more fun Prince song to perform. But it did remind me again of when Prince performed in the Super Bowl and had the big silhouette of himself to copy that, and it was pretty good. Can't complain.
I thought it was a nice tribute, did a nice job with it, but I'm not a huge Prince guy. I thought that it could have done a little bit bigger and longer because it was kind of short. And the hologram didn't really seem to do it.
I thought it was kind of weird. He just dropped him down on like a back screen, and I thought it could have been done better.
Of course, with every Super Bowl halftime show comes an infamous meme. Katy Perry having left Shark and Lady Gaga jumping from the top of the stadium.
Don't do this! No! Shake! No! Oh my God!
This year, during the closing of the show, Justin Timberlake performed his #1 hit song, Can't Stop the Feeling, out in the crowd at the US Bank Stadium, where a new meme originated. Ryan McKenna, otherwise known as the Super Bowl selfie kid, was recorded on live TV struggling to take a selfie with Timberlake. Ryan has since become famous for the act and has been on many talk shows since, where he even received free VIP tickets for a Justin Timberlake concert on Ellen DeGeneres and season passes to Patriots games next year.
Super Bowl selfies.
I was like dancing around my living room with my kids during the performance, and when the next day I came into school and like you could see all the memes of the selfie kid, I had no idea what it was from. Didn't realize that it was a big part of the performance, or like that he had actually stopped to actually like take a picture with the kids. So I feel like I missed a big opportunity there.
I feel like the selfie kid is funny. The memes from it are great, like him searching who Justin Timberlake is. I feel like it's also funny how Justin Timberlake got less credit about the halftime show, and now the selfie kid is known as the halftime show of Super Bowl.
He was kind of funny. It was also cool to see like it live and know that it would blow up later on like Twitter and become a meme and stuff. So.
All in all, this year's Super Bowl halftime show was a little rocky, receiving mixed views for all the problems throughout, no Janet Jackson or NSYNC reunion, and even the outfit that JT decided to wear during his performance, deservedly so.
Overall, I thought the show was fantastic. It was exactly what I expected. It was a mix-up of like his early stuff with his current stuff. He faded in and faded out from some of my favorite songs of his. The only thing I could kind of hit him on as far as being negative was whatever the heck he was wearing. I was like, only Justin Timberlake could pull that outfit off.
Thought it was very well done. Good choice of music. Could have been a little bit better. Some of the new stuff from the new album. And I was also looking forward to an NSYNC reunion, but yeah, it didn't happen. But he got it through and did a really nice job.
Personally, I don't think it's the best halftime show I've ever seen, but I did enjoy some of the throwback songs. I know he has a new album out, but I just don't think he's that relevant on the music scene anymore.
Although it was not the best Super Bowl halftime show according to many people, Justin Timberlake never fails to put on a quality show for his fans and will not end up losing a fan base that has been around since 1998 for his performance at the Super Bowl halftime show. This is Brandon Searles with Monthly Rewind Season 22.